Hey everyone, Eric here from EVH and Gear TV, and obviously for Walking Dead, my new series here on the channel. And we're going to be talking a little bit about a kind of a build-up for tonight's episode, Season 9 of The Walking Dead, Episode 3. And this one is entitled Warning Signs. And we're only a couple episodes away from the kind of forecasted exit of Andrew Lincoln and our favorite Rick Grimes. And it's getting closer and closer. And obviously with tonight's episode called Warning Signs, you know, I think it's letting you know, Rick, this is one of your last chances to kind of turn back and maybe think about the decisions that you've made. Tonight's episode is directed by Dan Liu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And was written by Corey Reed. We're getting some great writers, you know, different writers every episode so far. But anyways, I'm starting to kind of question Rick's judgment here as well, too. So one of the things we're going to see here this evening, obviously, it's, you know, this is no spoiler. This is just assumption from what we saw in episode 2, The Bridge. Obviously, that was quite the shakeup with what happened to Aaron. And if you haven't seen that episode yet, I certainly won't give it away. He's alive. You don't have to worry there. He's still alive, but some things happened there. But we're seeing quite the unrest in the Saviours camp. And maybe this is one of those things where, you know, Rick has made many, many good decisions, but I don't want to say equally, but he's made some drastic bad decisions as well, too. And you're seeing kind of the dialogue from Daryl, you know, saying, do you ever think what's going to happen when you have all these people in one place, you know, the bad things that they're possibly able to do. And, you know, if they team up, it could be very, very easy to overthrow Rick's camp. And I think if that's not settled very quickly tonight, we're in for a huge trouble. And then we also have the other threat of the Whisperers coming in. So, I mean, we got a double threat. And so I think one of the cool things I'm looking forward to is last week's episode, towards the end of the very end scenes, Justin was, you know, exiled from Rick's group and, you know, walking off into the through the woods, having a couple drinks, whatever, probably drunk. And something happened to him. We don't know what that was. And I was commenting, I think it was over on PT channel. I love his channel, by the way. Was commenting over there saying that on a recent video that he did, he's asking who do you think took him, whatever, you know, that kind of thing. And I said this was very similar to the episode back when Negan was finally coming back to take over, the Savior compound. He's driving in the car. And he opens up, you know, the door and says, hey, I forget his exact dialogue, but hey, what are you doing out here in a place like this? Hop in. And we had to wait until the next episode to see who that was, who got in Negan's car. Turned out to be Laura. And I think that's what's going to happen now with season 2 or episode 2 last week. You know, oh, who's that? You know, you almost got yourself killed, says Justin. And we don't know who it is. There's a lot of speculations. Who knows who it is? I have some theories. But we'll have you people discuss those in the comments down below. But we'll see what happened to him hopefully tonight. And I do have some big theories. I'll say to one of my theories, and this is not a spoiler. You know, there's I did post another video that talks about how Rick dies, and if he does legitimately die, I think what we're going to probably see is we're going to see Justin, that he was actually killed. That's what I'm thinking. It's just a theory. And that we're going to see, and by the Whisperers, and I think we're going to see a Whisperer wearing his face, basically killing Rick as Justin. And there was, and PT channel said it a lot. Brian said over there that, there's a lot of dialogue invested between Rick and Justin. You know, if I see your face again, you know, you're going to need more than stitches. And it was just a little overly too pronounced. It was too much time was invested, because every second on The Walking Dead is key real estate for dialogue, from filmmaking and keeping structure and pacing and flow. And they spent an extra amount of time on that. Just like way back, I don't even know what season it was now. It was at least last season, when King Ezekiel and some of the crew and Carol were walking through the one field, and they were killing a couple walkers. And one walker they actually killed. They spent way too much time. I think Jerry killed the walker. And they spent way too much time on him, whatever. What was he before, or something like that? And it was kind of a teaser that might have actually been a Whisperer. I think so. So when they take that extra time to focus on a scene, there's something up. So watch for that. If they spend more than a few seconds, or even up to upwards of a minute on a scene, that's something you should put a little note on a note paper and say, okay, let's watch for this. This is going to come back up to give us some clues later on. It's foreshadowing for sure. So tonight, obviously, the show's going to start off, you know, Maggie's on a bit of doing a supply run of that food. She's finally decided to deliver the food, and she encounters a bit of a roadblock, and that's all I'm going to say. I'll stop there, and it gets tense. So there's great anticipation for tonight's episode. Obviously, I think the biggest thing we all wanted to get off of our list is what happened to Justin. Are we going to see that? And then We're going to be facing that turmoil of the Saviours grouping up. We're here again, warning signs. So what are your thoughts? Do you think Rick has made a bad mistake by bringing in the Saviours? I really do. And I always like to look at Rick as, whatever he does, he's doing it for a reason. But I think he's made a big mistake here, a really, really big mistake. I think even his crew, as his, I don't say necessarily his crew anymore because they're all being delegated jobs, but your Michonnes, your Carols, your Darryls, those ones right off the get-go, maybe even King Ezekiel, Father Gabriel, we'll see. I think they're starting to question Rick as well, too. They're loyal to him, so they're not going to overthrow him, but I think they're really questioning his judgment. I think we're also going to see some crazy things happen tonight between Anne and Father Gabriel. And as much as I was quite happy to see that relationship kind of come to fruition last week, I think that is a ploy, and I think we're going to see some deceit between Anne and Father Gabriel, and I think Father Gabriel is going to be more loyal to Rick, and I think that's going to pose problems as well too. So there's a lot of trust and a lot of deceit. There's a lot of unrest between camps, and I think this decision is going to be of Rick taking in these Saviours. I think this is going to be his demise, and I'm very sad to say it, but we're only after tonight's episode. We're only 2 more episodes away from the possible end of many of our favorite characters, Rick Grimes. Whether he's not your favorite character or not, he's the leading man. And I keep flashing back to that very first scene in the pilot. Shane and Rick in the car. That he's come so far from that. It's amazing. But anyways, that's about it. Please have a look at the other videos here on the channel. It's a brand new series here. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And I do promise I will work very, very hard to keep you as a subscriber. We're going to have many live broadcasts here as well too. This channel started off as a music channel, obviously, and there's a lot of music content on here. So if you're a musician or like rock music, please be sure to look on the front page of the channel. I've got everything broken down into playlists. I'm going to be interviewing more industry guests, Walking Dead cast members, production people, fans like yourselves, other YouTubers hopefully will pop on here and have some interviews with me here as well too. And it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's great to be part of the Walking Dead family. Trust me, even though this is a new content addition to the channel, I am certainly not a new fan of the Walking Dead. I've been a fan since the very first episode was on television, and I will follow the show all the way through. Although I think it's at first about 2 months ago or a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, when all this news started to break that Andrew Lincoln was leaving, I was one of the first people, so I joined the bandwagon of saying, oh, the show's it's gonna tank. I'm not gonna watch it anymore. And then I realized what they're doing. It's almost like I'm gonna use a Canadian reference here, a hockey team. You can take a hockey team and you fire almost the entire team, and you bring in a whole new team. It's a big shakeup. Even though they're not getting rid of the whole crew on Walking Dead, they are getting rid of Rick, and they've been really, really good about this by delegating jobs. There's not going to be one person like a Daryl going to jump to the realm and be the leader. They're delegating the jobs. Everybody has a job title and a leadership role, whether they want them or not. They have them, even though Daryl's not necessarily excited about being the leader of the Savior compound. Everyone's got jobs, and they're all being leaders. So we're in for a great season, and let's watch tonight. Have a great. I hope everyone enjoys it, and we'll be back after the show with a review and see what you think. So we'll talk to you very, very soon. And until next time, cheers.